Hello, everyone. My name is Collin Miller, and here is my presentation on the American ibis, or our friend Sebastian. For a general information recap, I want to talk about the distribution of the ibis through North and South America, especially in shallow coastal marshes. The ibis is a gregarious organism. It is territorial, and they feed on a variety of organisms, so different frogs, crustaceans, fish, but also anything that it finds in its environment. Here's a visual representation of its gregarious nature in the video. But especially when you're finding food as an ibis, you're going to be using your proprioceptive organ, which is in your bill. It's a bunch of nerve bundles in your bill, and it's going to sense different vibrations in your environment, especially in the aquatic environments, as Susan Cunningham and her team found. So that's something to keep note of as well. In terms of the eyesight and the rod and the retina, we found that ibis have a less developed rod, which means that they are diurnal and they do take advantage of daytime feeding. So that's also something that Rojas and his team has found as well. In terms of feeding behavior in different water depths, we actually take a look at what kind of things and organisms are they feeding on. So at higher water depths, they're going to be feeding on crustaceans, fish, aquatic animals. At lower water depths, they're going to be feeding on more variation, garbage, different things. If they go inland, they might be feeding on different critters and things. And so this is something to keep in mind moving forward that Dorn found, because with human mediated environmental change, when the temperatures are rising and sea levels are rising, especially in Miami, where there's after 2006, it jumped from 3 to 9 millimeters per year sea level rise. It's important to keep in mind of how the sea level rise is going to be impacting these coastal regions first, obviously, right? So here's a visual representation of South Florida and the impacts as well. So when you're keeping this in mind, what does this actually do to the marsh, right? Well, it actually seems to make them more patchy with less connectivity, so more fragmented environments. And so what that's going to do is limit the ibis ability to hunt in these areas. Now, although the ibis can feed in a lot of different areas, right, we want to keep in mind that this is not great for the ibis. So my hypothesis is that it will have trouble finding different foods and different, stable nutrients and go off inland and feed on different things like human garbage and human waste as well. So I would like to study how a group of ibis in a connected habitat feed differently than a group of ibis in a fragmented habitat. So kind of a natural experiment where you sit and you watch and observe and how long they stay in that habitat to feed and how successful they are, and then how often they go off to find food in another place. So, how has my perspective changed on our friend Sebastian? Well, I believe that the ibis is still a resilient bird, but how resilient can it be with such rising temperatures and sea levels in a really crazy, crazy environment? So, thank you very much, guys.